Good evening, Dr. Des. Welcome again to my posting. Money. Look at it. I suppose this is worth quite a lot overseas. $20. Money. Money, very important. If you haven't got it, you can't do much. If you've got it, you can have fun. You can alleviate a lot of pressure in your life and so on. But today I want to motivate you about giving. You know, I've said you want God to be first in your life. That's where you start. Not only by the past postings that we've done about accepting Him and becoming born again, but He doesn't want only your heart, your intellect and that. He wants your sustenance as well, because He wants to bless you. And I know many of you say, well, I don't want to go to church because, you know, that preacher's always asking for money, or that church is asking for money. And then you get others as well that have television programs, and they're always having fundraisers and that type of thing. And you get upset about it. It's always the money, the money, the money. Well, money's good. You know, money is made round to go round. Everybody needs money, and it is the fluidness in a society that keeps it functioning. Not only are we encouraged to give in churches, but also in business. You're encouraged to donate, give money away. There's a universal principle that works in the religious life as well as in the secular life. You look at religious people that give and are generous, they always got. The scripture says in Proverbs, that which a man holds in his hand will be removed from him, but a man that hand is always open will never have lack. Okay, so I want to motivate you today that if you want God first in your life, you need to give off the top of your finances. Not after the government has taken everything, and the IRS or the receiver of revenue and all your pension funds and etc. come out and you get your net value. No, you go off the gross. You go off the top. You give Him the top. You give Him the best. You want Him first, right? Let Him be the first to get off of your salary. In the scriptures, we can clearly see that you have three types of giving. All right? And that's what we're going to talk about today. Three types of giving. You have tithes, you have free will offerings, and you have alms. All right? And we're going to have a look at tithes. Tithes is 10%. You'll notice something about God's economy. He never increases the burden. It has always been 10%. You give 10%. Give 10% to the Lord, and you will be blessed. He says, bring the whole tithe into the storehouse and I'll bless you. And that's what I want you to realize. If you can't give that first 10%, well, then I don't know. You're going to have struggle with the other stuff. Free will offerings. What about free will offerings? We find in Corinthians, Paul speaks about free will offerings. Because of this great salvation you've received. When you're in church, you're sitting there, or you see somebody that needs help or something like that, you just drop some money into the offering. So it's not only your tithe, it's a free will offering as well. Jesus said, give and it will be given unto you. Pressed down, shaken together and running over. Right? Right. Do you believe it? I hope you do. But there's also alms. Also alms. And we'll see in the scriptures, Jesus speaking, He sat down opposite the place where the offerings were put and watched the crowd putting their money into the temple treasury. Many rich people threw in large amounts, but a poor woman came and put in 2 very small copper coins, worth only a fraction of a penny. Calling His disciples to Him, Jesus said, I tell you the truth, this poor widow has put more into the treasury than all the others. They all gave out of their wealth, but she out of her poverty, put in everything, all she had to live on. If you won't give out of your need, you won't give out of your greed. Or you say, well, Dr. Des, what are you saying? Well, if you have got finances coming in and you refuse to give, and you say, well, when I've got a lot more coming, I'll give. That's not how God's principle works. If you won't give out of your need, you're not going to give out of your greed. So when you've got plenty, you're going to become greedy. And then how deep is that darkness that Jesus speaks about? That greed in a person. And we find sometimes many people that win these big Powerballs and lotteries and that, they change overnight. Money changes people. So, if you want to take it with you, give it away. The Lord bless you. This is Dr. Des. Have a blessed week, and we'll see you next week.